Hello everybody and welcome. Today I'm going to talk to you about the winter solstice for 2024. Now, the winter solstice is marked by many cultures from all around the world. And many of them, this is their natural time where the new year begins, as opposed to most of the world where the new year begins on the 1st of January. But for the winter solstice in cultures that mark the year from the winter solstice, it's a time where to see the sun go to its lowest ebb and everything is shrouded in darkness. A time where people are able to evaluate the year and what they have done through the year. And for 3 to 4 days, the sun in some ways is hidden, and a time of contemplation, reflection, and a time to bring things to a close and get ready for the beginning of a new year, where the sun rises again after about 3 to 4 to 5 days, and then it breaks out to start the new year. Now, this is a time where you can begin to really evaluate and really start to see things in a new perspective, because the winter solstice is a time where you can really dig in deep and start to ground yourself and prepare yourself mentally and spiritually as well. Now, this year for the winter solstice of 2024 is an 8-year. And not just an 8-year with the energy of a 3 wood as well. So it's an earth and wood energy together. But primarily it's an 8-year. Now also I would like to say, and just to make a distinction here, this is a winter solstice reading for the year. It is not a universal year energy reading, which is a separate video, and you have the energy reading for 2024, but this is for the winter solstice. And so for the winter solstice, the energy is an 8 energy year. Now what does an 8 energy year bring you? Well, it's one where you'll find things are deeply grounded relating to the earth. The earth is the primary center of this energy. But also it brings about change to many things, change to large institutions, change to governmental institutions, change to the earth itself. The 8 energy can bring around about like earthquakes, massive structural changes to things, to bodies, people, organization. It's a one of transformation, taking the old and clearing away the old, so bringing opportunity for new growth. And so I think for many people and for countries, there will be a lot of changes taking place this coming year, and sometimes this change is sometimes very subtle, and you won't necessarily notice it until you've gone through it. Then when you look back, you will say, wow, I've changed. Or you will see institutions that have gone through transformation, or maybe no longer with you because they have fallen by the wayside. And we've seen this with many companies that we thought that were, in some ways, they will always be around, are no longer with us. And we've seen that over the last 3 to 5 years now. And I think there's going to be a much more rapid progress in removing things that are of no longer of value to us, or that may be holding things back from moving forward and taking people to another level that will bring about a much more harmonious relationship with people. Because we can see at so many levels that many institutions are not functioning, or not maybe applicable, or relevant to what's happening in people's lives. And so we're going to see a much more rapid transformation, a shaking, a renewal in many areas of our lives, of society, and on a global level too. And because this 8 energy is accompanied with this 3 wood energy. Now 3 wood brings about new growth, a new start, new beginning, advancement in things. And I think we're going to see a lot of more advancement in communications, in how people relate to each other, and how those possibly new technology is going to be advancing at a much more rapid rate. Now, with all these new things happening, and all these old institutions being transformed or shaken to the ground or being exposed for whatever reason there be, I think it's going to give opportunity for a lot more people to really understand who they are. And I think this is the thing at the end of the day. We are talking about the individual coming to an understanding of who they are. And with the individual, you yourself, I believe you will start to see that change. Whether that change is going to be a rapid change or a slow, gradual change, I think that you will see new things start to be birthed within you and around you that will support you and encourage you to take those steps forward. Now, this 8 energy it can also bring about a sense of revolution in how you see things, how you do things, your mental attitude, your spiritual attitude, how you do things in your everyday life. You may suddenly wake up one morning and they say, you know what, I'm going to no longer do what I was doing before and do something totally different. And people around you may think you have gone mad. But the fact is that you have maybe had such insight to where you should be doing, what you should be doing, and how you should be doing it. It may seem to people from the outside as if it's a total revolution in how you're processing things and doing things. And that may not be just at the individual level, but at a level of society and even globally too. Globally, there may be such a radical change over the next year or so that it will take people by surprise. People may be looking towards this group of people or these companies that will move them forward, their thought, and something may be totally from a different area catch people by surprise, and people may say that makes sense, and suddenly drop what they were used to and just go with this thing that may be a totally new form of concept or technology, or it may be something that was old, ancient, but becomes more relevant in our society today. But one thing for sure, there will be a shaking of things that we thought were unshakable, things that we thought were that we could trust with our lives. Those things may become irrelevant. A legacy institution, a legacy way of doing things, and people may start to find that they can now start to trust themselves and trust things that they are doing on a collective level, and working in groups, supporting each other, finding things that they know that will work for them and that they can sustain themselves. I see, looking at the charts, that there are going to be major shakings of institutions, and also nature itself will be reacting in its various forms, whether that's through earthquakes or whether that's through weather. But I believe, looking what I'm seeing, there is going to be some major changes and shaking, and a lot of people could be caught out by what's happening, believing that what they thought was to be holding true, that was unshakable, becomes very much something that will just be put to one side, and people will be doing things, and institutions will be reformulating themselves, remaking themselves, rebranding themselves in an effort to be relevant to what people are wanting. And it's going to be, in some ways, I believe, it's not what the institutions are wanting, that they've been leading for these decades or hundreds of years. It's going to be more what a people base are finding relevant to their lives. So this 8-year is going to be a very interesting year, and in some ways a very exciting year, because it's a year where you can really start to map out what you are wanting or who you are wanting to be, and start to find your authentic self. So I would encourage you to take the time to give yourself time to breathe, time to think, and to really move into this period of the winter solstice. And one thing you also should understand is that the winter solstice is not just a one-day thing. It's a period of time. You know, it lasts until, at least until the spring equinox. And this is because we are looking at things not from a modern perspective, but from an ancient world view, that how cultures and people view things from a natural point of view, an organic way of starting the year. So I hope this video has been of help to you, and if it has, please press that like. And if you would like a more personal reading regarding the year to come and things that may be happening in your life, then please contact us. There's a link down below. Until next time, take care now. Bye bye.